Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time it is where you are, but right now it is time for more insight. This is insight you can trust because there is more where it came from. I'm your host, Chris Moore. Make sure y'all lock in with me. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit those like buttons. Make sure you comment and just make sure you share with a friend. We're trying to build a community. We're doing some great things here. Speaking of great things, it's some people who play the game. Then there's some people who understand the game behind the game. LeRon McCoy isn't just a former NFL receiver. He's one of the sharpest voices, one of the biggest names that you're going to hear in this new NIL era. He's the kind of advocate. He's the kind of advocate that every athlete needs. Um, you wish that he was in your corner. You wish that he had your back. That's because, and excuse me, you may think this name sounds familiar. Yes, he is the older brother of LeSean McCoy. But today we're not talking about the McCoy brothers. We're talking about LeRon McCoy, who's building power behind the scenes. He's the bridge between talent and opportunity. He's the translator between parents and paperwork. He's the strategist turning Instagram followers into real leverage, y'all. He's a man who understands branding, business, and the human side of athlete development. He's building something that's changing careers before they even start. And today we're going to tap into NIL and more about his life as an agent and just how to navigate these times that we're living in with college athletes, college coaches, even high school. And we're going to tackle those subjects now. LeRon, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I appreciate that intro. I feel like I need to bring you everywhere with me. Before my meetings, out to the bar, wherever it may be, I need to have that type of intro.
Hey man, I'll be down for it. Hey,
I appreciate
I
that.
can pack a bag. I can join you in the city here or there. Um, One
Yeah,
of the
man. So
things
no, thanks for
that
having me.
absolutely. I know you play sports. I know you grew up in football, so you're ingrained in the football culture. But as of recently, over the last few years, you've become one of the loudest advocates for high school and college kids trying to navigate this NIL. Um, what pulled you into this lane?
I think honestly, if I think about what's got me started, it was it's probably just part of my purpose, man. Ironically enough, I made it to the NFL, but the NFL was never really my goal. I never really wanted to be a football player. You know what I'm saying? Most people they grow up, they really want to be in the NFL. That wasn't really my thing. Like as crazy as it sounds, I was young. I was in high school. I was playing really well. I thought I was going to be a rapper or like a DJ, right? Just young, yeah, young kid, and the football just fell into my lap, right? And so if you take something so lightly, it will be easily taken away from you. And so what happened for me was I was supposed to go to a Division I college, had to go to Division II because I didn't have the grades, and I still didn't kind of get the what was happening, right? The patterns that I was creating. So then I transitioned to I got drafted to the NFL. I'm there, I'm hanging out, I'm doing the whole thing, got the big chain, like all of the wrong things that happen for athletes. I was living that life, right? And
Yeah.
like I said, if you don't take care of it, in 5 years, I was out the NFL. So the NFL career is over. I had to pivot and find another career. I knew I wanted to stay in the business. I just knew I didn't want to be a coach. I didn't really like coaching, but the agent thing came to me. My younger brother, I could see that he was going to be a superstar. I'm around NFL players all day. I know what they look like, even though he was in high school at the time. And so we made the decision. I was like, hey, when it's your time, I want to represent you. And so when
Mhm.
we talk about like where I'm at today and helping these young guys transition to become pros, because anytime you're paid to do something, you are a professional, even though you're not NFL. If they're going to pay you to go to college to perform, you are in essence a pro. So that whole idea of helping a young man turn into a pro, I've been doing for a long, long time before it was even my job, right? And helping these young guys not make the mistakes that I made over and over again is part of my purpose. I love to kind of give them, while some of these stories from my past are funny, they're also informational. These are things you should stay away from. Steer clear of these things, and you'll be good.
Life is the best teacher, man. And
Unfortunately,
because unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, because like you said, you've lived those lessons, you lived those mistakes. What are some of the most important things that you advise to your players and your clients?
I thought you were going to ask me like, what are some of the most crazy mistakes I made? I was nervous. I think that so just from being a sports, so I was an NFL certified agent for 13 years. I worked for one of the largest, if not the largest, sports agency at the time, and I started out as an intern there, and I rose to become like director of scouting and recruiting for one of the largest brands in representation. So in that space, I met a lot of agents, excuse me, a lot of clients, and the meetings are long. And a client will come and he'll interview five, six agents, right? I'm the same case that I'm talking about. So you'll interview five, six agents, and you'll go through it, process by process. But then the financial advisor is like the first guy you talk to, you're like, bet, I'll take you, right? And so my biggest concern that I have for young guys is you should not look at the people that are helping you grow the money with more importance than the person that's helping you protect it, um, invest it properly, and put it in all the right places. I think that individual is actually even more important. And so I tell my guys, like, when you're interviewing financial advisors, do it with the same amount of scrutiny you did when you interviewed me for this job.
Oh, that's good. Would you say that's one of the skills that kind of separates you from other agents in this space? Because you hear it all the time. I care about my players. I care about my players. But that particular skill set that you have of saying, hey, just like you interviewed me, just like you ran me through the
Yeah.
trenches to make sure that I'm qualified to be your agent. Um, is that the skill set that you carry?
There was a local rapper that he had this line. He used to say, why would I talk about you when I could talk about me? And that stuck with me. I'm like, yo,
Mm,
so I don't really talk too much about other agents. You know what I'm saying? They do their thing. I'd be lying if I said I didn't admire some of their work sometimes. I see certain deals and I'm like, yo, that's a great deal. But for me, what makes me different is I feel like you won't meet a person that has seen football from every angle like I had, right? So if you're a young man and you're sitting in the building, I can say, yo, I've been where you're at, where you're sitting at right there. I've sat on that side and I've wanted to, go to pro. I wanted to go to college for free and then I wanted to go to the pros. I had to go to the combine. I did all that. I can look at them and say that, right? And then I can also look at the parents and say, I've been a person that my family member that I love so much, I'm worried about him every time he takes the ball, every catch he makes, you know what I'm saying? Like I want their future better than I want my own, right? Then I could also say, well, I've also been an agent, you know what I'm saying, and I've looked at and I've negotiated with GMs in the NFL and I've sat from that standpoint. I've sat in financial advisor meetings. So when you meet a person that wants to help steward your career, I feel like there's no person better suited to do so than somebody that's seen the board from all different angles, right? You might have some guys that are like, well, I played, or you might have some guys that said, well, my son was this or my brother was this. It's hard to find a guy that's literally been at all different places of the table. When I sit down, I've viewed it from every single person that's at that table.
and just for the sake of everyone that's watching and who will see this, your clients, what's your demographic or what's the type of clients that you work with on a daily basis?
Okay, so I separate into two buckets, right? So I'll have my high school guys. So generally, I break them down. We break them down to classes. So you'll have class of 26, which are the seniors this year. To me, they're really college students because most of my guys are early enrollment. I mean, they'll finish their senior year in December, and their next season they will be January. They'll be enrolling in their college. So they've only really did 3.5 years of high school. They didn't do a full four. And that's something I teach all my guys. Like it makes you more valuable when I start negotiating with the team because for the team's aspect, they're getting a smart, guy that's disciplined and that's task oriented. But at the same time, they're also getting somebody that he'll be there to be under their tutelage longer, right? Instead of you showing up in the fall like most college kids, you actually did in
Yeah.
January. You've been practicing, lifting everything all the way through. So I tell my guys that's super important to make sure that they're part of that. So I break guys down into classes. Try to only if you're a freshman in high school, I really don't. I gotta kind of see it. Sophomores, if you're special, I'll talk to you. But that junior year is literally the most important year for all high school kids to get
Yes.
recruited. It is not the senior year;
Yeah.
it's your junior year, right? And I tell parents this all the time: don't expect the high school head coach to get your son recruited, because his main job is not that. His main job is to win games. So if you have an individual
Exactly.
like myself, or you have them as parents, take your son on the road, get him in front of as many college coaches as possible, right? And if he's worried about spending the money, think of it like an investment. You're putting the dollars into getting him what he needs, right? So that's my high school guys. When you get to the seniors of high school, now it's all about, like, are we going to commit early, or are we not? And then the process of me starting to negotiate with the teams starts really there, kind of like the senior year. I start trying to figure out, what we're looking at in terms of compensation packages from the university to the young man. Uh, that's on that side. So then there's also the college side. So the college side is a little bit different, because the NIL era has created the transfer portal. And in the transfer portal, there is a portal time a year, once a year. It used to be twice. Now it's just once, where a guy can put his name inside the portal, and he's able to basically be seen by other universities that are out there. And college coaches now have to recruit a kid out of high school, but then they also have to recruit that young man to stay in his school, in his program. Okay, so essentially for agents, it's technically free agency, right? It's free agency in college. And so you first have to talk to your university of where the kid is at. Where do you see my guy, in the depth chart? How does he fit into the scheme next year? And then financially, where you see him. And then, if once you get that answer, if it's not sufficient to what you want, then you decide, like, hey, I may want to go to the portal and see what other schools feel about me. I always tell people, if you think portal, if you think the portal is open the day that it's open, this year is January 2nd, and you think that's when the deals start, you're crazy. Similar to the
Oh,
NFL,
for sure.
the deals all happen way before then. Like free agency, you'll see a guy sign in the NFL the first day of free agency. That means that conversation happened probably at the combine in February, before the
For
league
sure.
opened in March. Similar to now, where the transfer portal opens January 2nd, deals will pop off the first day. That means those deals have been in place probably since December. So those are the two buckets of guys I look for. I traditionally like to go for a kid that has 3 stars. A three
Mhm.
star meaning he has one or two offers, and then from there I can work with helping him get more, getting him to be seen more. If he doesn't have that, right, then it becomes a little difficult. I once seen one of the
Yeah.
coaches from Penn State say that you'll know if your kid is a Power Four kid. Power Four meaning the big conferences in college sports, right? If you see him and he plays and he looks like an alien, like he don't belong here, like who is that guy? Why that dude deserve? He's going to college. You know what I'm saying? If he fits in and he works and he tries hard, then it's going to be like this. Like we will see. But if he looks like an alien, like who is that dude? He's bigger than everybody else, or he's faster than everybody else. Whatever that attribute may be, that right there kind of lets you know you got a Power Four kid.
Going to the high school NIL real quick. Could you have imagined when you were in high school dealing with NIL? Um, in doing so, I want to ask another question to that. How do you navigate helping these young kids, even their families, navigate this whole NIL era?
I mean, well, to answer your first question, like we talked about when this interview started, I told you, man, I just wanted to be a rapper. So if
Yeah,
I would have got some of that NIL cash, I don't know what would have been happening, So
man.
I think God has his reasons for everything. So I think we came right along at the right time. But we always, we think about it, we talk about it, like, man, we would have did this or we would have did that. As far as navigating, I've seen some crazy things so far. I've seen some crazy things with the young people, how much money that they have access to, or what's being offered to them. And I don't know. I think what it is, each kid. I tell myself first, each kid is different. What one young man can handle, another young man can't. It's weird to see how much better the young ladies are at this. The young women in
Yeah.
sports, they're just so much more like, just organized and aligned with their vision. Where the guys, we can get a little bit sidetracked, right?
You know it.
Yeah, so it's interesting. But the conversations I really have is just I find out about the individual first, their needs, their wants, what's their family life like. You know what I'm saying? I encourage all fathers, especially, to like don't stop being a dad because your son now has more money than you, right? And it's a strong thing that I've seen throughout the years of my career, where like the moment the money hits, the dad just starts saying yes, yes, whatever you want, yes. You got to realize that dude is really 18 years old. He don't know what the hell he
Yeah.
wants. You know what I'm saying? He needs that guidance of a grown man, of the person that he's always looked up to still be that person. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep being a parent. I think that's it. And like I said, man, get the financial advisor in place. Like, he is important. He is vital. I'll tell you this, Chris. I tell all my guys, I tell them, I don't want to give away too much of my game when I'm talking to my kids, but they're all CEOs, right? They're CEOs, and their body is the business. It's a Fortune 500 company, right? And so a CEO can't handle everything. So you need people that you delegate jobs to do things. And one of the most important people that you have is going to be your CFO, your Chief Financial Officer. So that is the guy that is in charge of helping make sure the money goes and stays, and the budgets and all that other stuff. And so finding an advisor is key. Individuals like me are, operating officers. We make sure we're bringing the money in, making sure this thing moves smoothly. And then you want to pour back into your machine, so that's training, that's nutrition. If you think about some of the guys that have been the best ever, they spend the proper money. And now that you make it, instead of really, instead of you spending money on the kids spend money on certain things, man, like DoorDash. DoorDash is like number one. Um, these dudes make a lot of money and they don't have any bills. So, you know what I'm saying? The things that they buy are
Just
like different. DoorDash is
got a
one.
hole in their pocket, money to burn.
Bunch of clothes, you know what I'm saying? Bunch of clothes to go to the same college bar. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Like, every once in a while you'll see a couple kids take trips, and that's cool. Cool to get an experience, but everything's good in moderation. You know what I mean?
My favorite saying is everything in moderation, including moderation.
Word.
Yeah, a lot of people just need to understand that. You can do anything you want, here and there, but just make sure you just do it here and there. You said so many good things, man. One of them that actually stuck out was just being a dad,
Sure.
and just making sure you don't turn into the yes man, because we're seeing that on a grand level. And I don't want to put, well, a lot of people criticize T Morant for how John Morant is acting. And I'm not going to go into that whole conversation because I don't know what the dynamic is, but I can see what people are saying that from the outside looking in. So I'm really glad that you said.
Speak your
I
mind.
mean,
what you think?
I mean, the thing with T, like, he's living a dream. He's living vicariously through his son. So I get it, but at the same time, your son clearly needs some direction. My critique of the whole situation is that the Grizzlies never really had a vet that could pull Ja to the side, put him up under his wing, and like help him navigate this stuff. The oldest person on the team at the time was like Steven Adams. I don't know how much Ja would listen to a Steven Adams. He needed somebody like a UD, like a Udonis Haslam, to like pull him to the side. Hey, bro, you messing up bad, and it could end real bad if you don't get it together. But that's a whole nother situation. Let me transition to college. We just saw Lane Kiffin leave. We just saw he's leaving Ole Miss for LSU. We're seeing that Kentucky just fired their coach. So the coaching landscape changes every year in college football.
Absolutely.
These coaches are preaching loyalty, but they don't do it. How does that reality shape how you advise your players? Like, are they going to the program, or are they going to where the coach is?
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna say this: anybody that tells a kid he's going to the program is an idiot, right? Because how the program that you're going to is not a bunch of people and pageantry that you never met. You know what I'm saying? I think those days are behind us. And a lot of the people that preach that, they never played. Okay, so the fans, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You want your guy to like be true to the school. But when you are thinking about the next 4 years of your life, that shape the next 30, 40, right? You meet people within a 2-year period, and you have to trust that they are going to lead you in the right direction for the next 4. Sometimes it's even quicker than that, right? And so my thing is like, how can you give yourself to some people you don't even know? Like, give your services to people you don't know, right? I never met you
Yeah.
before, coach. I'm just gonna just trust that you're gonna come in here and that whatever scheme you have or whatever vision you have is gonna work for me.
Yeah.
If you look at different coaches around the league, I don't even start naming them, but if you look at certain coaches in any sport, they have different ways that they like to implement offense or implement defense.
Yes.
Certain players fit certain schemes versus others. And so my body type, my style of play, am I sure that it fits whatever scheme that you have? Whereas this other dude I pledged to, I knew that I was getting exactly what we were getting. Both of us knew what we were getting from each other. So I don't think that players should be loyal to a university when we see the coaches themselves aren't loyal to the university. The
Absolutely.
administrators, they leave and go to different places. So I think that you should always keep your options open. Once you find people that are good to you, you should be good to them. Now, if you are in a situation and it's working out for you, then you take care of it the same way they take care of you. But I think just staying loyal to a brand is like one of the craziest things ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Crazy work.
Even the Lane Kiffin thing, right? So, like watching
Mhm.
Lane navigate. I mean, Lane is Lane. He's done this before, and people are gonna be mad at him, right? But at the same time, it's like the first family you got to be loyal to is the one on your back, the name on your back. You know what I'm saying? That is real. So, I am gonna always look out for the McCoy family before I look out for Ole Miss or Tennessee or whoever else. And so if one place fits me better financially and is going to set my family up better in a better spot, I have to look at that.
Absolutely.
So in Lane's case, it's
Absolutely.
like I don't know what they're paying him at Ole Miss. I think it was $9 million, and I'm hearing he's going to make like 13 or 14. Right, so we're talking about that over like 6, 7 years. I mean, bro, you know what I mean? Like, what would you do? You want to stay there because the school has been great to you? Come on, man. He's given them enough. And if he wants to leave to set the Kiffin family up better, great. Same thing with the players, though.
By all means. Yeah.
The player wants to leave and go somewhere else where he feels like it's going to help his not only his finances but also like his fit for his development to the next league. Real quick, I have a guy that's at a small school and he wants to transfer. He wants to get in the portal, and he had his exit meeting, and he told me that his coach told him, "Oh, I still want to develop you and make you a better player." And I said, "I bet he does. I bet he do. But why wouldn't you do
Yeah.
that at a bigger school that has coaches that feel the same way? You'll be compensated much better, and on top of that, the NFL opportunity is a lot larger at said school than it is the one you're at. Like it doesn't
Those
benefit you
resources.
to stay; it benefits him to stay."
Yep. And those resources hit different, man, when you start talking about bigger schools.
Do
Like
you
I
remember
saw,
Boogie Cousins?
yeah,
Okay, so there's a story Boogie Cousins has about after he plays his freshman year, he dominates, right? And he's in the projections in the draft to be like a top 10, top six. And he goes to meet John Calipari, and he's like, "Yeah, man. So next year, me and you, we gonna win." And Calipari said, "Are you crazy? Like, I can't let you come back in here. Like, it would be bad. It would be good for me to let you play for me again, but I'll be a terrible person. Like, go into the NBA and support your family. That's like a real coach." Somebody that cares. A lot of these guys don't, they worried about them and how it feels, you know what I'm saying, and what it looks like for their program.
and then I remember another story was, or just what I witnessed online was the transition from Jackson State to Colorado. I remember the first video from Well Off Media. Coach Prime was walking through Colorado's workout area, and I remember Shador saying, like, "We don't have all this at Jackson State. Like, this
Yeah,
is crazy."
yeah, for
They
sure.
didn't have the hot cold pools and all that stuff. I mean, so the resources hit different when you reach a different level. So you will be robbing yourself if you don't even take advantage of that opportunity. So I'm glad that you're giving out that word of advice. Because what I'm seeing now is that generational wealth. That's the key word that everyone uses. And now these young athletes, these young people are setting their families up for generational wealth, whether they end up going to the league or not. at least you
Yeah,
position your family in a better
no.
situation than you were in before.
Well, think about it like this, Chris. You first of all, I won't call it generational, right? Because you know, what I mean, the money is it ain't that crazy yet. It's getting there.
That part, yeah,
But
true.
I'll say this: like, let's not even take a superstar. Let's just take a regular kid that is a typical 3 to 4 star kid, and
Hmm.
he goes to school and he's making $300,000 a year, right? Which is not crazy. That's not like an astronomical number. That happens every day. So he's making 300 grand a year, and he's got a full ride scholarship to a university of a state school. So in 4 years, he will have the opportunity to graduate. You know, what I mean, have his first degree. He'll be working on his second degree, possibly. Right? He'll have no debt. They don't have anything they got to pay for. So school's paid for.
Man.
He's got an apartment. He's probably got a car. In his bank, if he took care of his money, he should have hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know how many, but he should have hundreds of thousands of dollars in his bank account. He has a degree from a great university, and now he's in the world. Whether he plays football or not, 97% of the world doesn't leave college like that. 9% don't leave college like that. You know what I'm saying? Where
For
you
sure.
have the money, you can take whatever job you want, not one that you need to pay back your loans. You got a bank full of cash. Like you can start investing, doing this and that. So that's kind of what I preach to my guys. It's less about it's a two pronged approach. Like, of course, you want to, you know what I'm saying, head towards the pros, right? But at the same time, you're also building a trajectory for if you don't make the pros, what can we do? And either way, you should be good. When you graduate and you have that degree, you should be walking out, more properly prepared than any other person that you went to high school with. Like, you should literally be far ahead of everyone else. And as black people, you know what I'm saying? Like we need all of that we can get. So we can get, 2 or 3 steps ahead of the rest of people out there, and then I'm all for it. Men's and women's.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to ask a few more questions and we'll get out of here. Um, I'm not too familiar with NIL and the opportunities that it provides. So, part of my ignorance. What's an NLL opportunity that's out there that most athletes don't know about or they sleep on that could change their future if they got serious about it?
I mean, there's so many. I think that all right. So in football, man, like I can talk about football and basketball, but in football, you take a lot of hits, right? So I always tell my guys, like, anytime we can make money without being hit is a good day. You know what I'm saying? So it's better than going to the ATM. Is another thing I like to tell them, right? So I think one of the key things that I look at is like how much time do you spend online? And
Mm,
nowadays, all my guys are online. Cool. So the fact that you're online a lot, you're texting, you're tweeting, you're doing whatever, I need to have ways to my marketing team find ways for you to be paid to do things online that you do. Right. The funny thing about that is once I start making it a contract that you need to do this many posts or you need to live stream for this amount of time, then it becomes a problem. Then guys are like, oh, I don't want to do this. Right. I'm like, yo, we do this
yeah,
all day. But I think that trying
exactly.
to have a team that's creative enough to look at the amount of time you spend online, whether it's Twitch, whether it's whether you're a gamer, different things like that, and you do it the right way to make sure that you can receive funds for just your personality and your posting and whatnot. There's always going to be paid opportunities to post products. These are small things that I think guys like kind of overlook, and they just do them for free. And there's a financial opportunity there if they look at it the right way.
Man, I can't imagine when I was in high school. I'm 39. I was a heavy Madden player. I can't imagine just being able to set up a camera, stream, and be able to make money. I ain't hating at all. I'm a little jealous of it because
Low
I
hanging.
definitely would have done it.
You just got to be super responsible, though. You know what I'm saying? And I think that
Oh, for sure.
part is something that part is what I do worry about. Like after a game, you playing Madden and you're young, but you're having some beers and you're not supposed to be, something like that, or I don't know.
Going off the cuff, saying something crazy.
You say something about another team or your own team or whatever, and then you open
Yeah,
yourself up to situations you don't really want to be involved in. But I think that if you're a person that's mindful And anytime there's an athlete out there that constantly considers his brand, I want you to think about Russell Wilson, right? Now, Russell Wilson is a great
Man,
human being by all standards. Nah. And he looks like the perfectly put together gentleman, right? But I'm sure some of that is like him being conscious of like who
for
he's
sure.
around, how he presents himself. And while some people might think that's fake or phony, no, I don't think that at all. For me, I think it's a person that
Mm-mm.
is that important to him. It's that important to me to present myself this way for whether it's for my kids or my brand or whatever it's for, right? And so those things has translated to him always going to be given opportunities, maybe outside of sports or in sports, but people are always going to be like, man, I like what that guy stands for, and I want to align my brand with that type of person. So being conscious of your brand when you walk out, again, this is something that the young ladies in sports I found are a lot more conscious about than the young guys. They're constantly thinking about, I don't know, maybe it's society, whatever, like image and how they perceive and project, and like it goes off really well in terms of the narrative that they're putting out in the world to brands and to people.
Well, they say that women mature a whole lot quicker than us males.
That's a whole
So
other
that could
conversation.
be that's a whole nother conversation, man.
Whole other conversation. Absolutely.
That's a whole nother conversation. Let me ask you this. 5, 10 years from now, what do you want your legacy to be for LeRon McCoy?
You know what, man? That's probably a question I just, I really wish I gave more time to think about. Because again, like I think that the only way to get somewhere is by like really just reverse engineering. You put that out there and then you work towards it. I haven't thought about it. You know what I mean? Like for me, I'm just constantly trying to figure out how we can evolve. Um, First this was football only. Now we're including basketball. Now we have women's sports. We have a tennis player and we have a swimmer. Like just, and so I'm just trying to grow and work as much as I can. Like I just tell myself that, like the person that I trained under, Drew Rosenhaus. What I'm saying? One thing about him, I always remember, I'm like, he's the hardest working dude I've ever been around. He was in 2 states every day. So he wake up in Miami, he get on a plane, go somewhere, do whatever, then he's back. And I just remember, like, you learn by watching. And I remember just thinking, like, yo, this dude, this is why he's successful. You outwork individuals. And so there are other agents that have different things that I don't have, right? So one thing I can always tell myself is like, nah, they just want to outwork me, though. Sometimes
That
I go
part right
against
there.
like big conglomerates, big agencies, gigantic. They got all the who's, and I might not have those same clients, the who's that they have. So the one thing I'll just tell them is like, they won't outwork me though. When I say I'm
Man,
going to do something, my follow up, I'll call, like I'll do what I got to do to get this deal done. Whereas someone else you might not be a priority to them the way you are to me. So I think that's what it
I'm
is, man. I
glad
hope I
to
need to definitely think about where I want to be in 10 years and how the business, presents itself. This whole NIL space is constantly changing too.
for sure.
I can see that they want to might change the way agents are reviewed and everything else. So who knows? But I think the number one thing for me is just keep working.
There you go, man. Um, in the intro, I gave you your flowers. I want to encourage you to take time and smell those flowers. Because I know as Black men, we don't take a lot of time to do that because our mindset is like, all right, I got this taken care of. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? Sometimes we got to sit back, pat ourselves on the back, and keep moving from there. Um,
For sure.
I wanna do a segment. I call this 3 on 3. These are 3 questions. You give me your top 3 answers. I listen. I do not judge. I
Okay.
do not judge. All right. Um, Eddie Murphy has been a conversation as of late. Give me 3 of your favorite Eddie Murphy movies.
Why is it a conversation of late? What do you do now?
Just because he has a documentary on Netflix.
Okay. I'm gonna say, okay, one would be Trading Places. The second would be Coming
Ooh,
to
good one.
America.
Mhm.
Damn, that's a good man. That's a good question. He got a
You
bunch
got
of newer
Life.
stuff, but I kind of like the
You
old
got
stuff. Trading Places, Coming to America.
you got
Um,
Boomerang. You got Life. Um, Nutty Professor. Forty eight
Life is good.
Hours.
Life is good. Nutty Professor was cool. Norbit, those joints.
Yeah.
I think I would like Life. Yeah, Life would probably be the third one.
Yeah, I mentioned Life because that's like one of my favorite ones. So
Yeah,
I tried
Life.
to
Life
nudge
would
you.
definitely be up there.
All right. Give me three inspirational people that you look to, mentors, role models, people that inspire you.
Let me see. That's a good one. Three, dead or alive. I gotta know
Dead
them.
or alive. Dead or alive. You don't have to know them. Just people that inspire you.
Okay, so one would be Kobe Bryant. Big Kobe
Oh yeah.
fan. Um, just the way that his mentality of how he attacked things. And I remember thinking the best part about Kobe is I wasn't a Kobe fan. I couldn't stand him, and I had got like courtside
Bro.
tickets. Yo, I couldn't stand.
Same.
I had courtside tickets to a Laker game back when I was playing for the Cardinals. This might have been like in 2006 or something. They were playing against the Suns, and I was like, "Yo, this dude is nuts. He's like dialed in, killing
He's
it,
an
and
assassin.
on the whole stadium." And just been a fan since then. So Kobe, plus the way that he is with his family, his daughters, I can really appreciate. I have two kids, so um, that would be one. I think, man, a lot of always people always say like, their moms. I think I would have to probably say both of my parents. They're different. You know what I'm saying? They're different people.
Yeah.
The way they attack things, the way they kind of handle things. So they're very inspirational to me too. Just watching them as we grow up. Parents had me when they were young, 16. My mom was 16, dad was 17. So a lot of it was like learning on the go. And then I watched how they evolve with parents, as with my brother, and then how they evolve for as grandparents with all our children, right? And so just to watch their
Man.
life, watch their marriage, all those things to me are inspirational things that I would want to aspire to one day, and to have that same type of parenting to where my kids look back and be like, man, dad used to always do this, say this, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Uh, the work ethic, just things that they bring in. And then the marriage, having a marriage for that long. They've been married since I don't even know. They've been married a long time, 30 years, maybe something crazy. So those
Man.
are a group. And then lastly, for the last person, I don't know, man. I got a lot of homeboys. I got a lot of mentors in business. I mentioned, Drew Rosenhaus earlier. Just a lot of different people. My guy Brandon Hunt. He's the director of player personnel with the Las Vegas Raiders. He's a hardworking dude. I like anybody that has a strategy to get to where they want to get to. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I like people like that. Like if you can visualize what you want and then go through it. I think, you know what? I'll give you one. Nipsey Hussle was probably like my favorite. That's a good one. I forgot about.
Oh
I'm a big
yeah.
fan. Just in where he comes from, and then but how he's seen the
Hmm.
world outside of like just his window, instead of just seeing like Compton. You know what I'm saying? Or Slauson.
Yeah.
He was decided to see
Man.
something different, and so I can appreciate that. And then never being, one thing like when I got into real estate so heavy, it's intimidating getting into a room with people that have been doing something for years and you haven't, right? You know what I mean? But the one thing I learned is like you being in that room is just as impressive as them because you had a farther way to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't go to the college to be a real estate professional and all this. I literally had to learn this on the go and study and make my mistakes. So I deserve to be here with y'all. And now that I'm here with y'all, I'm not going to dim my light or be like silent. At first, I was like that, like be real quiet and kind of just don't say too much, and you don't want to embarrass yourself or whatever. Then I got to the point I'm like, nah, like I'm here. I'm here. I deserve to be here, and I did. I think my climb is more impressive than yours, even though you went to this school and this school. Like, no, I didn't go to that. I didn't do none of that. But I'm still here with you. You know what I mean? And so I think that's kind of like, different things I learned. And Nipsey's one of them people that taught me that.
Man,
Sorry to give
you
you a
over here
long way to
preaching to the
answer, but
choir.
yeah.
No, you good. My Kobe story is that one day I couldn't stand him. Like you said, I couldn't
Understand,
stand him.
Cole.
Uh, I had this idea of him, and one day I just said, you know what? This dude's not gonna always be playing. Let me actually appreciate him. So like the last 4 years, I believe that he played, I became a fan. Like Kobe could do no wrong to me. And I'm glad that I had that mindset because, of course, unfortunately, he
I'm like
passed
that with
away.
LeBron. I didn't like LeBron forever because if you're a Kobe fan, wasn't really a LeBron fan, right? But then the dude
So
is
I'm a LeBron fan.
he's
That's
so
why I didn't like
great.
Kobe.
He do so
Yep.
much off the court. I'm like, yo, me hating him is me just being a hater. Like you a hater.
It's just being a
How you
hater.
not
Yeah.
gonna look at him and just be like, yo, this dude is everything he touched is like, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm the same when it comes to Bron. Like, you had to just appreciate it.
Okay.
Watching what he did for
Three.
dad with his son and Bronny, and now and the younger one,
Oh, for sure.
Bryce. People hate that. I love it. Like, yo, like I love it. You know what I'm saying?
I do too.
Nepotism is the way.
It's wrong when everybody else does it, but you know,
Man, listen,
when we do
you
it,
don't have it, we've not done all that we could have as dads.
exactly,
You know,
exactly. My third question: give me three of your favorite artists right now that you listen to constantly on a playlist. Three folks that just got your attention. You can't turn them
I
off
listen
right
to
now.
new people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
I don't either.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't listen to new people, and when I do hear them, right, I be like, I be with my son, and he'll play something, and like if I like it, I have to pretend that I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to.
Hey,
My
have you
son
had to
got me feel
Shazam some music that he's played yet?
What you say?
Have you had to turn on Shazam and
Oh,
figure out what he?
Shazam, all these
Yeah,
nights. Well, yeah, who is this? Like,
yeah.
let me see. I would say that's a hard one, man. Because I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck in my ways of like who I listen to.
At this age, that's what we do. We gonna listen to who we know. It ain't too much room for somebody new.
I'm big on mood music to where it's like if I'm in a certain mood, the mood dictates who I play because they, you know what I'm saying, that person can kind of like, you know what I mean, meet the mood, meet the energy, so to
Okay,
speak. So I don't know. I can't give you three, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not. That's a hard one. That is a hard one.
that means you have a wide range of music.
Oh, picky, man. I'm just picky. Like it depends. So you know what I'm saying. If you ask me like certain things, like what are you about to do, right? That's one. You know, if you about to do X, I'll say I'm gonna listen to this. You know, if you about to work out, right? Okay, so working out is all gonna be for me. Like I'll do DMX and I'll do DMX. I'll do the Locks and I'll do Meek for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Those are like I'm an East Coast guy, so those are always gonna be my guys. If you ever get emotional, if you an emo dude, I listen to Joe Button, which is crazy because now he's like a podcast. Like, he was like the first emotional rapper that talked about like
Yeah,
what he was thinking before the Drake guy. You know, what I mean, he was just like, "This is what I'm thinking.
yeah.
This is what's going on." I got some weird listens too, man. You ever heard of a rapper named Chinks?
I've heard the name. I haven't heard the music.
Here's another thing that I learned about myself. I'm a fan of. This is sounds crazy. When musicians seem to pass away, I somehow gravitate towards their music. I don't know why. I'm like, let me now listen to this person I've never heard of. And I'll be like, this dude, I guess it makes the story for me like more realistic. I don't know what it
It
is.
puts it. Yeah.
That's terrible. But like I've noticed that about me. Like I found
No,
artists
I
that I
get it.
never thought of after they passed. Sometimes I never heard of them. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mo3 or Chinks. I didn't know either artists when they were living, but after they passed, people talk about them. And I went back and I'm like, I like this. This is good music.
I got a quick question for you. It's the season to be jolly. Give me three of your favorite Christmas songs. That's the one.
Bruh. I don't even know. Okay, so my favorite Christmas song ever. Yo, this is funny. Is when my grandma used to play it. She still does every Christmas. The song is by Nat King Cole. It's called "The Little Boy That Santa Claus Forgot."
Mmm.
It's about a little boy that doesn't have a dad. It's crazy, right?
Man.
Me and my dad grew up listening to this song, and the funny thing, my dad be like, "Why you like this song? You got a dad?" I'm like, "I don't know. The story is real." So it's "The Little Boy That Santa Claus Forgot." I don't know, man. Christmas in Queens. I'm from Queens, so
Yeah.
Run DMC, Christmas in Hollis, or Christmas in Queens, whatever it's called. I like that one. I can't give you a third. I don't even know. Jingle Bells or something.
You good. Um,
That was off the cuff.
I'm married, happily married, and one of my favorite songs is "Please Come Home for Christmas."
Yeah, I heard
Like
that.
that song just hits. Yeah. This next segment is "Give Me More."
Okay.
So this day forward, what do you want more of for LeRon McCoy?
Consistency. I want more
Mm,
consistency from my life. Everything. Whatever it is. Consistency and discipline Whatever you want in life is on the other side of those two words, discipline and consistency. If I can be more consistent, if I can be more disciplined, the things that I want that have escaped me or that I don't have, I will obtain if I can do those. And so sometimes I realize my consistency is waning. It's easy when something first begins, everybody's excited, you know what I mean? But that person that's consistent to go every day, they'll be successful. Or discipline for me too. It's like just being disciplined enough to know what you should or should not do, or just having a routine that you do no matter what's happening. That's a person that is successful, right? The process over the results. So those are two things that I want more
Mm.
from my life: consistency and discipline for sure.
Man, I always tell people the results are worth the process. So when
Yeah,
you say the process over the results, oh man,
yeah, for
man,
sure.
if I needed a word today, that was it.
Nah, I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan because you gotta, man. I think about people working out or whatever it is. You have to go through some level of like obstacle to get what you want, some level of pain or discomfort, right? And so, with that being said, like when the discomfort hits, it's so easy to shut it down. You know what I mean? Even in this business, you know what I'm saying? This business, like sometimes I'll have a number in my head and I'll call to the GMs and we talk, and they're just hard on giving me the number that I want. Or the kid, I'm recruiting him and I think I got him, but then I lose him or whatever. And it's like, if you let the obstacles define how you feel, then you'll always be, you'll be victim to the highs and lows. So for me, it's like just stay consistent, stay with your process, the discipline of it, and the results may vary, but your trajectory won't. So that's kind of how I think about it.
Absolutely. Um, as we get out of here, can you let the people know where they can find you, where they can contact you, especially
Cool.
any athletes who will see this?
All right, so I'm on Instagram, LeRon McCoy. My at name is just at Dutch. Dutch is my childhood nickname, so just at Dutch. And then for the company, it's at legacy.nil. You can reach us there. Our website is www.legacynil.com. And, there's a questionnaire
Absolutely.
there, things like that, if you want to kind of have any more information about us or you want to reach out to us. The easiest way, honestly, would be just Instagram. Instagram, I'm on Twitter. I forget what my Twitter name is. I think it's L McCoy 1788. So, but the easiest way, honestly, is always just Instagram. Either myself or one of the admins is constantly checking. We always looking for athletes. So, please hit us up, have the conversation. I believe that I'm a seller of data. You know, what I mean, it's my job to provide the neighborhood like the neighborhood dope dealer. I'm the neighborhood data dealer. Like I'm telling you what's out there, what's going on. I might actually steal that. I'm gonna put that up. I like that. The data dealer. Just like what's
Yeah.
going on in the space. The industry's constantly changing, and so you need somebody that actually reads and learns about it and goes to seminars and meets the people to then give you that same information that sometimes they're hiding. Um, I will say this too, Chris. I want to let this be known. Like sports has been a business in college for hundreds of years, hundreds, right? And the people that run the game have been making money for hundreds of years. For athletes, it's been a business for three. Okay, we are grossly outmatched when it comes to negotiating, when it comes to knowing the rules, et cetera, how the game is played. Unless you have someone like myself or others that know the game, know the business, know how to negotiate, know what to look for, know what the language in the contract should look like. So as much as I'm here to say like I'm great and I do this and that, I think it's important just for you to have some representation, whether it's myself or others. There are very good agents out there as well. Um, but you need somebody to speak for you in those rooms, or you'll
Mhm.
realize like they gave you what you accepted, and they were happy with that. Like we all would take the Ferrari if the Ferrari was like $20,000, right? You know what I mean? So
Sure.
we can buy it for that. We would love to have it, but there's a price point for it, and you have to figure out what that price point is and how to bring it home.
And the people that are watching this, it's okay to ask for help.
Word.
That's why
Sure.
you solicit the services of people like LeRon McCoy, because they're looking out for your best interests. They can
Word.
speak a language that you don't know. They see these contracts all the time. you ain't seen a contract ever in life. So definitely make sure you reach out to
Very
LeRon
true.
McCoy, his team. And like he said, if you just find somebody who can assist you, who knows this lane, and make sure you, I would say, tap in with LeRon. So thank you. I appreciate your time on here.
No, Chris, thanks, man.
Anything that you want to, any shout out to anybody that you want to give or show some love to some people?
Sure. First and foremost, I guess my business partner, who's also an agent with me, Ishmael Kamara. I don't even know Ish's Instagram handle, but me and him do the same exact job. We just kind of attack it from different ways, and he does great. My guys over at 500 Pound Media, just all the individuals that kind of help me, just with the process. The one thing that I learned is to be the best LeBron that I can be, you have to delegate certain things. We only get 24 hours, so if you have people with strong team that can help you, like my guy Naeem Singleton or Derek Pledger or different individuals that help me just be the best that I can be, you got to keep them people close to you. So that's about it, man. No,
Absolutely.
Chris, I appreciate you having me on. Would love to reconnect sometime, but this was dope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, LeRon, for joining us. I appreciate you for jumping on. This has been more insight you can trust because there is more where it came from. Like I said before in the beginning, make sure y'all subscribe, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, but most of all, just make sure y'all support LeRon, whatever he's doing, whatever,
Appreciate
any
it.
athletes in your family. If 3-star and above, hey, reach out. He also stated that he has women's sports. They ventured out into
Sure.
swimming. Tap in.
Whatever it
What
is.
better person? Whatever it is, tap in with them. So I appreciate you jumping on, and we'll see y'all next time.